How many is out?
Oh, here's somebody. What'd you say, Miss Linda?
I was asking you how many was out.
Well, let's see. I think this is Chandelier coming in. I made a note. So, like, when I see CB, that means Chandelier.
Oh, okay.
If it says iPad, that's Gloria. And if it says LaSalle, that's Todd.
Okay.
So I had to make myself a code to tell me who comes in a different way. Um,
Yeah.
I told y'all I would. Let's see who came to class this morning. Linda Powers. Um, if y'all ever come on a different time, then I mark when y'all actually came. But look, I have a row. So look how many people are in class, in my morning class and my afternoon class. So I'm excited to
Yeah.
have a little roster. It helps me keep row. Um, Hopefully y'all have gotten your goodies that I've sent in the mail. If not, they're on their way.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay. I hadn't got mine yet.
Miss Linda, how did it?
I got mine.
You got yours. I don't know how it missed you, Miss Linda. You're just 15 minutes from my office.
I don't know.
I should have just drove it
It
over
had to go
there.
to Jacksonville first.
Good Lord. That's funny. You send something to
It is.
Hazelhurst from Baxley and it has to go to Jacksonville. No wonder it costs so much money to send stuff.
That's right. It goes around the world.
All right. Well, today, um,
I got to change shoes.
all right. Well, I'm just going to talk and open and close my hands. I tell you what, it's really cold in my office today, and my hands are really stiff because of it. And I say that to remind you about how important the environment temperature is and how it really does affect your body. I walked outside just a second ago and ew, it feels so good outside. Like that, the sun wasn't trying to kill me, it was just trying to warm me. And I'm very thankful for this little bit of weather change. It's been a hot summer. Uh, Today we're going to go through our warm-ups, and as promised, you will see that it will not take us as long to go through our warm-ups. We're in week 4, and we're learning these warm-ups more, and we're able to get through them quickly and spend more time learning our moves in our Tai Chi series of movements. Let me see. I can remove the pen now that I have more than one person spotlight. There we go. And so today we'll spend time learning single whip, which is our third move in our Basic 6 series. And if you notice something a little different back here, this is my poster that has our Tai Chi principles. And so remember that we do Tai Chi principles no matter what we're doing, even in our warm-ups. And as long as we follow Tai Chi principles, then we're going to get the benefits from those movements. We always have this focus on Tai Chi principles as we practice movements, and hopefully y'all have had a chance to practice this past week doing something. This morning, Mr. Ed said he practiced this past week, and he told us that he practiced open and close. And he chuckled whenever he said it. But hey, there's a lot of things you can do with open and close whenever you work with principle. With open and close, you can think about breath. With open and close, you can think about slow, smooth, continuous. With open and close, you can think about a gentle resistance as if the air were heavy. You can think about open joints. So you can even think about upright posture. while you're doing open and close. So it's not as simple as just open and close, is it? As we learned last week when that was kind of our throw-in movement with commencement. So I'm going to bring this poster, well, let me wait. Let's do our warm-ups, and then I'll bring this poster closer to the screen so that if you would like to take some notes, if you have a pen and paper, to take a few notes, or you may already have it written down, Miss Linda, or you may be interested in some of these other resources that I have. But I'm going to bring it closer to camera and go over it. And I like to do things like, this is a big Post-it note that's hanging on the wall, but, oh gosh, I forgot I taped this on there. This right here is a smaller Post-it note. It's one that has lines, and I have step, switch, turn, and shift on here, which this is waving hands and clouds. And I like to put stuff in front of me that are reminders. And that, why is that good? It gives my brain kind of a break. So I can remember things without having to remember things. It helps bring it to mind, and I can use my brain energy for other things.
I got mine.
I love to make little notes on Post-its. Here's another one up here that talks about daily grams of fiber. That's for a different program that I do. How much fiber we should get in a day. So I keep little reminder notes of things to help be my brain. So there's no shame in that. So let's get in our stable stance, meaning our feet are shoulder width or hip width apart. We have upright posture, relaxed shoulder, no tension. Ooh, I can put on our music, can't I? I forgot the music this morning. There we go. No tension. And we're breathing. Getting ourselves in that feeling of calmness and just ready to slow down and spend time in a whole different way than we're used to living. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I just feel like everything is just in a hurry and stressed and rushed, and it's one reason why I love Tai Chi so much is I'm supposed to slow down. All right, so let's start with our neck movements. We bring our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest, turn and push them away from us, and follow those hands all the way down, chin to chest. And notice I use words like pull and push. Those are gentle resistance words, which is one of our principles. Just reminds us of the nature that we're moving through the air. So we're intentional with our movement. Thinking about breath and matching it to movement. And we do that at our own pace because our lungs are all different. We start this other one out the same way, drop one to our hip, and then follow this hand as we go to the side, back to the front, and switch. Slow, smooth, continuous. I feel like it goes through my head over and over while I'm in Tai Chi to remind myself to slow down. Kind of adds to the floatiness of our movements. Now for our shoulders, let's roll our shoulders forward. Small circles. And back. We go forward first, and then we go back. That helps reset our posture, making sure that we're upright. Also feels like a massage I'm giving myself. Our other shoulder warm-up stretch here, or warm-up movement, not so much a stretch. Practicing breath and words of affirmation, breathing in calm, breathing out stress. Breathe in good and just fill your soul all the way up with it. Whatever your needs are, use those words along with this movement. Go to our ball, stretch our spine, push a hand up and down at the same time. If you have limited movement of your shoulders, this may not be possible to do this full movement. Do what you can, imagine you're doing it fully, or do the stretchy string method where you stretch that string. You really keep it small, and while you're stretching that string, you're stretching those back muscles. Back to our ball. Now let's take it side to side, warming up that spine horizontally. Small movement, not as far as we can go. Engaging our core muscles as we turn side to side. You know, when we engage muscle, we help make it stronger. So can we turn side to side without fully engaging that core? Yes, but why not engage it while we're here? Now for our hips, remember this is when it gets a little complicated for us because we're shifting weight to one leg. So it's a good time to have a chair nearby or something stable to hold on to, or just as a safety net, just in case we lose our balance. We have our hands forward where our toe is back at that angle like a kickstand. And then our hands are back while our heel is forward. It's a counterbalance and also a cross-lateral movement, which is good for our brains. Switch to the other side. And again, slow, smooth, continuous as we shift that weight. Your leg might start screaming at you. Oh, mine is. I said, that's enough. Now let's shift side to side. Tapping that toe out, bringing it back. And isn't this music nice? It really helps us slow down. Back to center. Now for our knees, we have our loose fist at our hips. Check and make sure you've not pulled any tension to your shoulders. We're still relaxed. Shift weight to one leg. Lift, tap, and punch that opposite hand, which is a challenge because it's cross-lateral. Your brain doesn't want you to move the opposite hand and foot. It wants you to move the same side. So allow yourself to be challenged. As you punch out, keep a soft bend in your elbow. Don't fully extend your arm. You feel the strength in those legs. Now we're going to step out. We're going to place the foot out, small step. Keep both feet flat on the floor as you shift a little weight front. Come back. Shift.
Did it. Okay.
Shift and
All
punch.
right. Well, doing my Tai Chi, so
Back.
love you too. Bye-bye.
Miss Linda,
Yeah.
I thought
You
you
talking to me?
was talking to Amigo. I'm used to you talking to your doggy and tell him to go lay down. And we had just said how he wasn't going to get up under your feet. But
No.
I figured it out. You were on the phone.
Yeah, I had to take that.
I'm just used to when you do talk, it's usually to him.
Yeah. Well, I'll try not to talk to him while we're exercising.
Oh, you're fine.
No.
But it's
Boy, that's bad.
easy movement where we shift front and shift back and shift to the side. It's just that smooth quality
Concentrate.
to the weight shifts. Another thing to keep in mind is that you're not leaning. So I'm going to turn to the side and show you. Here I'm placing that foot out. So I'm in a staggered stance. And we're going to talk about staggered stance today when we learn single whip. And a staggered stance is where one foot is further up than the other. And that's a real stable stance. So I place one foot further up than the other. And whenever I shift weight to the front, I'm not shifting all the weight to the front. I'm keeping weight on this back foot. And remember I said keep both feet or both heels on the ground. So when I shift forward, I keep my body upright. I shift some weight there. There's still weight on this back foot. And then I bring it back. Okay? So if I were to lift the heel of that back foot, then it starts throwing me forward. So it's important to stay grounded and not lift the heel, the back heel, off of the ground. I mean, you're not going to lift your front heel, but it would be easy to lift that back heel as you shift weight forward. So keep both feet grounded as you shift weight forward and back. And that's a good time to think about spacing. So if your feet are pretty close together, then it's easier to shift forward and shift back. But if your feet are far apart, then it's harder to shift forward and shift back without kicking off or without, lifting that heel. So everything in Tai Chi is really small. And that's hard for our bodies to kind of capture that a step is really small when we might think a step is something going on, something big, something noticeable. But everything in Tai Chi is really small. So getting into that staggered stance, which again we'll do in our single whip today, It's a really small spacing of your feet. Just one foot is a little further up than the other. All right, so that's for our knees. Last is for our ankles. We don't have any hand movements. We shift weight to one leg, and then we rock this foot heel toe, heel toe. Bring it back, shift weight, and heel toe, heel toe. Shift the weight, big toe, little toe, so side to side. Caught myself with some tension in my upper back and shoulder area, and just let that go. Bring it back. It's all about body awareness and catching yourself, having your body in a way that's not supportive. All right, give yourself a good shake. We are ready to go over our principles. I'm going to pull this down. This typically is on the wall in front of me, but these are our principles. And remember what I said, that as long as we are following principles, we're going to get the benefit. So our principles guide us in all that we do. Even in our warm-ups, we follow principles. So there's 3 categories of our principles. We have movement control, body structure, and then the internal experience. Now, under movement control, you hear me saying this all the time, is about our pace of movement. It's slow, it's smooth, it's continuous. It has a airy float nature to the way we move. Gentle resistance is moving as if the air is heavy. So it's not forceful, it's just gentle resistance. We experience that with open and close, as if we are playing the accordion or pulling taffy, just something that's really gentle in resistant nature. Our second category is body structure. How often do I say all of these really? But upright posture. And then weight transfer. Now with weight transfer, part of weight transfer is the empty step in Tai Chi. So before we transfer any weight, we place the foot empty, then we give it weight. And so typically giving a foot weight comes with a hand movement. We'll start connecting hand movement with weight shift. But weight transfer is one of our principles, and it's also one of the reasons why this program helps with falls prevention, is because by transferring weight as often as we do, we get our muscles really strong. And when our muscles are strong, they help keep us from falling. And then the final category is the internal experience of Tai Chi. One is song or open joint. And you'll recall me talking about not locking your elbows, not locking your knees, keeping soft joints, allowing your armpits some room to breathe. So all of our joints are open, and that's so energy can flow through our bodies. And then the other is Jing, J-I-N-G, and this is mental quietness. And this typically happens when your instructor stops all that yapping and just allows the music to play, and we can experience our Tai Chi and just get in the moment. And we really get good at Jing when we know our movements, and that comes with practice. And so these are our principles that guide us. This is what I'm always referring to and reminding us throughout our Tai Chi, specifically our pace, slow, smooth, continuous. I'll put the poster back on the wall. But I wanted to bring it closer so y'all could see it, and just be reminded that we are guided by principle in our Tai Chi movement. The only thing that's not addressed in this poster is our breathing. Now, our breathing is deep and slow, and that it helps with our concentration, and it also helps relax our body. And oh, we got Sharita. Let me write Sharita present. So the breathing is what we call diaphragmatic breathing, fully expanding our lungs or filling our lungs with air, and then completely emptying our lungs with air. But I always say with Tai Chi, if you just don't hold your breath while you do Tai Chi, then that's a success. And then to just, I just feel like practicing true deep breathing is best done, for me anyway, seated where a chair supports my body, and I do either open and close as I breathe, or I do the shoulder circle as I breathe, or even place my hand on my chest and on my belly and take deep breaths. And it's kind of a breath check, because if I'm breathing with my hand on my chest and belly, then my belly should be rising and falling, because that means the diaphragm has pushed down on these organs to make it poke out, and not my chest rising, because if my chest rises, then that's more shallow breath. So I like to be able to just sit in a supportive chair and breathe, and just only focus on breath, or those simple movements that just match good with breath. And then with my Tai Chi, just remind myself to breathe and check in. And I think the more you practice true deep breathing without the Tai Chi movements, you practice breath, just breathing, I think you'll gradually more and more deep breathe in your Tai Chi movements, but you're not really thinking about it. You're just used to the practice of breath. We are born deep breathing. So if you think about a baby that's asleep, you see its little belly rise and fall, rise and fall. You see animals, their bellies will rise and fall. And humans start out that way, and then we start doing more shallow breathing. And so we get out of the practice, and now we got to kind of fix the way we were intended to breathe. So breathing is definitely part of our principles, but it's not written in the program as a principle. All right, so any questions about principle? Any questions about our warm-up moves? Okay, that's not the final time to ask questions. But if you think of something later, just ask. Let's review. So last week we learned commencement and open and close. That's our first two movements of our basic 6. Reminding ourselves what it looks like in mirror image facing you. We start in our stable stance. Our hands are beside us. We're going to bring our hands up. Down, we're going to shift right, place left, hands come in and up, shift left as those hands go out, right foot forward, and hands come back, open and close. So, reminding ourselves of hand movement and weight shift. When those hands came down, when those hands came down, I shifted right. And when those hands went out, and I shifted weight out or forward. And then at the end of the movement, I came back, weights on both legs for open and close. So the hand down and the shift down, the hand out and the shift out, if you want to think of it like that. When we get to our single whip today, there will be more of that, where we step empty and then we adjust weight forward to that front foot that we stepped with, and our hands go out at the same time. So that's going to happen a lot. So get used to hand movement and weight shift. Hand movement and weight shift. Hand movement and weight shift. It starts connecting it together for you, and it gives you a better experience with the Tai Chi. So I'm going to turn around and let's practice our first two movements of commence and open and close. Here we go. And commence, hands come up, down, shift right, place left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, bring that right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Again, commence, hands up, down, shift right, place left, hands come in and up, shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. All right, this time without talking. Commence. Again. Commence. So as you practice those movements, as you get more and more familiar with them, be thinking slow, smooth, continuous. And that helps you not get in a hurry as you go through. So when you know the moves, then go through it thinking slow, smooth, continuous. All right, slow, smooth, continuous. When you say the words, your movements match the words, so you can slow down and help those curves be more smooth. So it's not sharp. You know, we just learned this move and we're new to this move. And so when we first learn things, it's very sharp. Just like I told you, whittling wood. You start off with a block of wood and you get, you kind of start making a shape, and then you'll sand it and smooth it out, and that's how we learn. I equate it also to learning to read. So if you have the word dog and you have D-O-G and you say D-A-G, D-A-G, it doesn't sound like much until you start dog, and next thing you know, you're looking at it and you're like dog. So that's smoothing out the edges. You start out choppy and then you smooth it out. And so when we come up, we come down, in, up. You see, everything is so smooth as we go from one direction to the next. It doesn't look like cheerleaders where we go up, down, in, up, out, in. That's very sharp. And so That's what I mean by smooth. Everything is just rounded. We're for sure going in a direction, but it's rounded. Okay? Now let's talk about the wrist movement that we can have. You know, the whole time our hands are facing each other. And when our hands face each other in Tai Chi, that's part of that energy that we're working with, in our life energy or Chi in Tai Chi. So we have, but we have an opportunity here to use a little wrist movement. So when we come up, you see my fingers are kind of pointed down. My wrist is kind of flicked down here. And then when I go down, watch, I flick my wrist up. Come in, up. And then when I come back in for that final pull, my fingers end up here. So there's a little bit of wrist movement there at the end. Do you have to do that? No. But it's an opportunity to move those wrists. And we know with movement makes that joint work a little bit better. So we have the wrist, flick, here. So that's just another piece of commencement that adds a little bit of wrist movement. All right, so you feel good about our first two. Now, you might not be masters of it yet, but hopefully you get a good idea of how weight shift, empty step, then the weight shift, empty step, then the weight. So getting used to placing a foot, then giving it weight. Get used to that kind of, get used to that, and then you'll have that habit going into all the rest of our moves, is an empty step and not immediately give it weight. So if you want to do something that you're more familiar with and practice empty step, you could do what I call Tai Chi walking. And so it is like regular walking, like this is regular walking. You know, I'm just throwing my feet out there and I'm immediately shifting the weight and I'm going places. That's how I walk normally. But in Tai Chi walking, you place the foot empty, then you shift. Place the foot empty, then you shift. So I don't recommend doing this in public because somebody might think you're nuts. But or really the main thing is somebody may run you over because we don't typically move like that in public and people aren't used to it. So you might get run over because you're going to be kind of in your zone, in your Tai Chi zone where you're upright postured and relaxed. And you shift the weight, you know, slow, smooth, continuous. And then you place the foot. Then you shift the weight. Then you place the foot. Then you shift the weight. I mean, you could even put your hands in loose fist and practice Tai Chi walking. I have a lady that's in my advanced class on Mondays, and she spends 15 minutes, which probably seems like an eternity, walking around her house, Tai Chi walking, every day. For 15 minutes, she Tai Chi walks. Well, what is she practicing? She's practicing empty step. She's practicing weight transfer. She's practicing empty step, weight transfer. She's practicing slow, smooth, continuous. She's practicing upright posture. She's practicing breath, body awareness, full stop. For 15 minutes, she's going through all of these principles, but the whole time, what's happening is magic because the muscles in her legs are getting stronger. With each empty step, this leg's holding that weight, her weight longer. Shifting. Now this leg gets to hold weight. So for 15 minutes, she is practicing standing on one leg, even though she's not doing that. She is, because she's Tai Chi walking. So that's a great way to practice principle, empty step, and weight transfer is Tai Chi walking. Now that's just regular walking to the front. I don't ever suggest walking backwards because we can't see backwards. And I can see when I'm on camera because I'm on camera. I can see what's behind me, but in real life, I can't see what's behind me. Another way you can practice that is Tai Chi walking to the sides. And this will give you a heads up on waving hands in clouds, which is our next movement that we'll learn in the next couple weeks. Because it'll take us probably 3 weeks to get really comfortable with waving hands in clouds. But you can go ahead and get a heads up on it by Tai Chi walking sideways. So we just Tai Chi walked front. Now we'll Tai Chi walk sideways where we step out, place the foot, empty, remember. Then shift the weight. And now step, empty, shift weight. So I'm walking to the side. Step, shift, empty, shift, empty, shift. So you can practice going that way too. Empty, shift, empty, shift. I mean, it is so basic, and like I said, you may feel kind of silly doing this, but really you're doing wonders with the muscles in your legs, helping get those legs stronger. All right, so I didn't mean to spend so much time on Tai Chi walking, but it really is a good thing to practice. I wish I'd said it this morning in class so Ed can go from doing open and close this week to Tai Chi walking next week. All right, so let's learn our single whip. Now, you know when we do commencement, we step forward, and that puts us in a staggered stance. That's that stable stance. Well, in single whip, we're going to put ourselves in a staggered stance. We do single whip both ways, but the first time we do it, it's to our right. A mirror image, so that's my right. I'm going to have my hands here from open and close. I'm going to shift weight to my left foot. I'm going to step empty my right foot out into that staggered stance position. And then when I give weight to that front foot, I call it adjust. And when I say adjust weight, it means I'm going to have weight on both legs. So adjust weight. When I put the weight on that front foot, still weight on the back, I'm going to push my hands out. So at the same time that I adjust my weight, I'm pushing my hands out. So they faced each other this whole time, just like from open and close. And then I'm going to turn my palms away from myself, and I'm going to separate my hands like I'm taking them down a wall, and my eyes and head are going to follow my left hand. They follow the hand opposite of the foot that stepped out. That's the rule in single whip. Opposite of the foot that stepped out is the hand I look at. It's important that you don't forget this other hand. Out of sight, out of mind, but don't forget that hand. Don't forget to keep moving it. So don't leave it up here as you just watch this one go out to the side. Bring it out too, and you'll notice that chest opens and you'll feel a stretch in your upper back and your shoulders. So do the whole movement, and that's your single whip. So again, we're coming from open and close. Our hands are facing each other. Our weight is on both legs. I shift left, empty step right. Adjust weight as I push out. turn my hands and separate my head and eyes follow my left hand. But I didn't forget to open up that right. All right, again, we're here. Shift left, step right, adjust and push, turn, separate. All right, I'm going to turn around. Coming from open and close, remember we go to the right. Shift left, step right, adjust and push, turn and separate. Eyes follow that left hand, but we didn't forget our right. So when we talked about weight shift and how hand movement and weight shift, that happened, right? We stepped out with our right foot, and as we gave weight to that right foot, we pushed out. So the weight shift and the hand movement went together, just like weight shift and hand movement went into commencement there. So learning weight shift and hand movement together will help you with your Tai Chi as well. So again, shift left, step right, adjust and push, turn and separate. Eyes follow left hand. Now we will do this to the other side too. We just have waving hands and clouds in the middle of it. So if this week you want to practice doing it both ways, here's what it looks like going to our left. Same exact thing. We shift right. We step left. We adjust as we push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow opposite hand of the foot that stepped out. I think I got that right. Dun, 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 dun. Sometimes when I do things mirror image and turn around, I get my brain confused. Because I'm looking at y'all and I am just lying my face off, telling y'all this is my right hand when that is no more my right hand. That is my left hand. But I'm trying to show y'all mirror image. So when I turned around, I think I looked to the wrong hand when I did it this way, but always opposite of the foot that steps out. So that is our single whip. Let's add it to the top. From commence, open, close, single whip, shift left, place right, adjust and push, turn and separate. Eyes follow that left hand. All right, again. Commence. Single whip. So next we'll do waving hands and clouds, and after we wave hands and clouds this way, which we're not learning that today, but then that's when we'll do our other single whip to the left, which is shift right, step left, adjust, push, turn, and separate. Eyes follow that right hand. So opposite of the foot that steps out. So if you get a chance to practice this week, places to practice are Tai Chi walking, whether it's forward or Tai Chi walking to the side. Empty step, then the weight shift. Empty step, then the weight shift. So walking sideways or walking front, that would be a great place to practice weight transfer and empty step. Or if you just want to practice our new move, single whip. Shift, place, and then come back and do it the other side. You may go to the YouTube page and check out the playlist of Tai Chi and scroll to single whips and rewatch that video. Or maybe you just want to practice open and close and be like Ed. So I just invite you to do something. Just do something. To even go over your list of your principles that we talked about and just really start thinking about those and having those in memory so that as you learn and practice, that's in the forefront of your mind is our principles. Slow, smooth, continuous. I mean, I'm always saying them anyway, so y'all should have them memorized after these 16 weeks just because I never shut up talking about them. All right, so let's cool down by giving ourselves a fist massage. But y'all, we're in week 4 and we have learned our 3rd move of our basic 6. So we have 16 weeks of class. I'm going to introduce these movements to you. Then we're going to practice and just get better at them. All right? Tense up. Gather it. And then release it. It feels so much better to release tension than to hold on to it. Release. Gather and release. Gather and release. Shoulder circle. See my adjustment of my feet. I was a little bit wide. I didn't feel as stable as I feel with my feet a little closer together and more at shoulder and hip width apart. It's amazing how fast an hour goes. We have our right fist, loose fist, like we're holding an egg we don't want to break. That represents our strength. Our left fingers together represents our friendship, and our thumb in our humility. And we put those together in mutual respect. We say, Namaste.
Namaste.
All right, so do y'all have any questions for me about anything?
Oh, that was a good lesson.
That was good. It's good to take it back to the start, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And just review it. I never get bored of our basics, our basic movements. I enjoy the advanced, but I feel like when we get back into the basics, we can just really rest in them. And then when we get into our more complicated moves, there's so much more brain power that goes into it. It's harder to kind of rest and relax with it. But these basic moves, we can just make them so soft, and it's just nice. But we'll keep learning.
Keep learning, and we'll get graceful with it.
That's right. Slow, smooth. Just repeating the word slow, smooth, and continuous changes the way you move. Just by saying those words, you make it more smooth. All right, my dears. Well, y'all let me know if you need me between now and then. And if not, I'll see you next Tuesday.
All right.
Your creation with your necklace and the sash in the back, Jennifer.
This?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I forgot that it was a bow. Sharita,
Yes.
You weren't in class. Hold on, I want to show you. Chanticleer's already left. Miss Linda's already seen this, but okay, you ready? Okay. You see is it focusing? You see that picture?
Yes.
All right. Well, that is my daddy and my mama and me and my brother and my sister. And
Oh my goodness.
on my mama's neck is this exact thing.
I can see.
So she sent this picture a couple weeks ago, and I said, I still have that scarf. And
Get out here.
when I was in high school, I wore it like in my ponytail, and I remember one time tying it on my belt loop, and so now this little scarf necklace thing is real popular. And so I just had this pendant and I fed it through there and made it like a necklace.
Oh my goodness.
But that was my mama's when I was a little girl.
That is awesome. How nice.
I think so
Okay.
too. All right, my
Um,
dears. Well, I love y'all. I'll
love
see you
you
next
too.
week.
All right.
All right, bye.
Good evening.
You too. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.